Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for all of the kind comments and your emails and for liking my videos. I'm glad that you guys are getting the notifications. I know I have to make nice with the algorithms, but I really appreciate all of you who stuck with me. I wasn't here very much last year. I can't really get on camera and pretend to feel happy, and I don't think it's good to, get on a platform and cry. So anyway, I'm really grateful for all of you, and I want you to know that and to really recognize that I appreciate you. So I still have, you can still sign up for the new moon in Aquarius, the Chinese New Year of the Dragon. We're having that meeting on February 10th. I know it's a Saturday. I didn't recognize that when I scheduled, but I know a lot of you like me are home on Saturday nights. So yeah, come and join us. And you could still sign up for Becoming, the Metatron course that we do, removing stories, changing DNA programs, and doing healings. You have alone time with me, one-on-one sessions with me. It's a 4-month commitment, and we would love to have you join us. We have a great time. We enjoy getting together. So we're going to talk about the full moon in Leo. The full moon in Leo takes place on the 25th of January in London. It's at 5:54 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11:54 a.m. And in Sydney, it's January 26th at 4:54 a.m. So we have a 9, 5 and 4, 9. So endings, culminations. Full moons are always about endings or illumination of some kind because the sun is always opposite the moon. The full moon takes place at 5 degrees and 14 minutes of Leo. The first 10 degrees of Leo have a lot to do with self-sacrifice, especially in some way connected with the ancestors. So, if you know anything about your family history, and this can be a lot of times Leo, it depends on where it falls in your chart, but Leo is mainly associated with the father because it's ruled by the sun. So the degree of the full moon is the Sabian symbol, and you can look up your Sabian symbols on Linda Hill's website. Just search Linda Hill Sabian and it'll pop up. Linda is an astrologer in Australia. An elderly woman faces an up-to-date girl. It's about confronting the past and the past confronting the future or what is next. And the sun ruling the full moon is at 6, 5 and change of Aquarius. So 6 degrees of Aquarius, the symbol is a masked figure performing ritualistic acts in a mystery play. So that's us. All of us are in roles, in costume, in our DNA suits, performing our rituals or acting out our roles as a human in this timeline. And the moon is forming it's at the apex of a finger of God. So if you look at the moon there in the 12th house in Leo, you can see the green lines leading to it. One is from Saturn in Pisces, and one is from Venus in Capricorn. So Venus is with Pholus as well. If you want to look up Pholus in your chart, it's number 5145. Pholus is a centaur that goes between Saturn and Neptune, and Zion is what the moon is actually at the same degree as the moon. Zion is 28978. It is a trans-Neptunian or dwarf planet. Anytime that you hear trans-Neptunian, Neptune, or something that's vacillating from, Saturn to Neptune, understand that this is when the universe, the vibration that is love, is coming to the fore and in charge. This is where we really learn to let go, especially at a full moon that is where the apex of the chart is the moon, because the moon is linked to the past, but it's also about giving birth to the new. And Zion is the undoing, self undoing, or, some sort of transformation. Fullness, I always say when I do your charts, it's like something that comes back sometimes to bite us in the butt. I usually use a different word, but we'll just use that word. So the apex, the finger of God, is about allowing the new. Something, a person, or a habit, something that has stood as a structure in our lives, most likely for a long time, is going to finish up, wrapping that up in order to make room for what is coming next. The moon is square to Jupiter in Taurus, and Jupiter then is square to the sun. And that grand square is, the wheel of fortune, because we have Jupiter at that apex. So the wheel of fortune and Jupiter, of course, we look at it's beneficial, but a lot of times Jupiter can be a blessing in disguise. So, and also this full moon is in the 12th house in the universal chart. The moon is pretty far out. So I don't think it will be so emotional. Uranus is stationary direct that day. And whenever a planet is stationary direct, we feel that vibration stronger than all of the other things going on out there. And so there's definitely something new coming online. Uranus is the tornado that just goes through and is like, no, this isn't going to work, and just wipes out the landscape so we can build a new landscape. So definitely big happenings. Depending on what's going on in your chart. So your planets at 5 degrees are affected, and Uranus still is at 19. So everything around 20 degrees in the chart. Uranus is stationary direct in quintile Saturn. And I talked about quintile last time, that's sort of a magic happening, things that we don't see coming. Always with Uranus, you can't say what it's going to be, because Uranus kind of like comes out of the clear blue sky, and just whacks us with something. And we're like, I mean, it could be an epiphany, because this is a full moon. And then the Uranus is quintile Saturn and quincunx the south node in Libra. So it might have something to do with a person, with a partner, or some area of our lives that is out of balance. The north node is quintile Saturn, and the north node is in Aries. So something definitely new, something maybe that you're pioneering, maybe just pioneering for yourself, like something brand new in your life. Neptune is quintile Mars and Mercury, who are together in Capricorn, and Neptune is square to Ceres. I saw a write-up by another astrologer today talking about Ceres. I talked about her in the last video, but I didn't mention that she also has to do with rage and loss. I mean, when she decided to, only bring the harvest once a year, it wasn't from a good place that she made that proclamation and change. And her daughter, was taken from her, stolen is the word that he's using to describe that. You can see Mars and Mercury and Capricorn there in a trine with Uranus. So Mars rules men. It's our modus operandi, how we reach the goal. Also, where we can feel as if our freedom is restricted. Mercury rules counterparts, siblings and cousins. And also students, or the way that we learned, what we believe, our thought process. Whenever Mars and Mercury are together, but especially because they're in a trine to Uranus, a lot of deep breathing, because Mars, Uranus is electricity, and Mars is really fast. So when he is with the planet that rules the mind, our thinking can be carried away. And you want to be careful with that when it's trine Uranus, because you can either take yourself much higher, or you can just go right into the slums. Neptune is trine Pallas Athena. So it's like the God self, the soul, the eternal self, the inner being. Neptune is saying something to Pallas Athena. Pallas Athena is at the end of Scorpio. Neptune is at 25 of Pisces. The South Node is square Psyche and the vertex in Capricorn. So Psyche is 16 in your chart, and I know a lot of people only use Psyche for as the soulmate, one of the soulmate asteroids. Psyche is the soul. The vertex, that we have a fixed star vertex, we have an asteroid named Vertex. This vertex is a point in the sky. It's a karmic happening. It's something that is predestined, something that will take you, he's saying, on your next adventure, a sure, safe passage for your next adventure. So the South Node is square to Psyche and the vertex in Capricorn at 20, around 20 degrees. Again, trine Uranus. So something new, most likely that you don't see coming, or maybe something coming in a way that you didn't expect it to arrive. They're square, which squares are the 90-degree angles. Powerful. Square the North Node of the moon in Aries. North Node, where we're going, where we're traveling toward. So this is about developing effective strategies for communication, nurturing the authentic self, what the desires of the heart are, releasing vanities, releasing anything that isn't you. Like he's saying, like traditional values or beliefs that we hold fast to that maybe we hadn't even recognized is just a habit and something that was in our DNA that we were programmed to believe. Understanding the interconnectedness between ourself and all that is. Whenever you have Neptune or Pisces involved, it's about how we're all connected, yes, to each other, but that everything around you is transmitting unconditional love. Coming to that space where you're able to recognize and to take that in, to allow yourself to feel the unconditional love coming around you. Creating space, Uranus, so freeing up time. Saturn, to make room for what is your heart, what your heart's desire is. Feeling the joy of the manifestation of what we want before it actually arrives. So magical thinking, Pisces. Prodded by the soul to recognize the blessings that have come through soulmates. That doesn't just mean love soulmates or romantic soulmates, but all soulmates. So family members, if we're still holding on to resentments and things linked to the past, they are going to be in the way. Also, he mentioned no is always a reason to be grateful. Like I said, this astrology is, of course, we have control over how we imagine it to be, how we see it unfolding, and we can choose to be in a place of celebration or suffering always. But this could be a lot of things that come online or that happen that we maybe, he's saying, are not scripted. Oh, that's interesting. Releasing resistance to love, to feeling love in your heart. So old resentments, releasing those. Focus, I can't read that word. What we're focusing on is what fills us with joy and having a detached view of the past. So I've, many times asked to have compassion for a person or a situation where I didn't quite understand exactly, where the blessing was. And your soul, you will get that. You will definitely have illumination and understand why things unfolded the way that they did. Always being in a place of compassion and grace for ourselves when we maybe intentionally or unintentionally hurt someone because we were in a place of hurt. And then also he said suffering is a choice. So how we decide to view our plight or how we decide to view what is going on around. Just, oh, that's interesting. Or recognizing what no longer fits in our lives and letting that go and stepping away from black and white thinking. Thinking, he's saying, like using the color wheel, all of the colors, to, he's saying to help to raise your vibration, to come to a place where you're grateful for things that happen. Even he's saying speaking gratitude to a situation, to a person, when maybe you don't feel the gratitude yet, will help that to come in. Always, holding a grudge or being resentful only hurts us. Really get rid of toxic people in your life. Frenemies need to go. Even family members that, just creating distance and boundaries between yourself and people who probably aren't happy for you when you have a win. They aren't there to celebrate, but they're always there to, show off or to brag. Let those people go so that you can make space for new, more, he's saying, exciting adventures with new soulmates, calling in soul family, even people maybe coming back from the past, he's saying, or people that in the past you viewed as enemies. Once you can make peace with the situation, becoming and having a more amicable relationship with that person. Always with Leo, it's about the inner child and having fun and enjoying yourself. So I hope you're able to take your inner child out for a while. Maybe, I'm pretty sure the vortex is over by then for everybody. But, otherwise take her inside somewhere. But yeah, do something fun. Do something that, sparks your creativity. Even with all of the Piscean energy that we have going on, watching an old movie that you enjoyed as a kid has a lot to do with Leo as well. So, yeah. So thank you, everybody. And I hope that you enjoy the full moon and sending you so much love. Bye-bye.